things that, and the questions that I get constantly is, well, that's great if I'm passionate about food, or I'm passionate about my family, or whatever one of these areas may be. But how do I actually how do I actually action on it? What are the questions that I need to ask myself? Somebody very wise said to me a long time ago, if you want to improve the quality of your life, improve the quality of your questions. Hi everybody, this is Shivani Gupta. I'm your host. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today about a concept that has been a center of some of the work that I do. I have been speaking about passion and what that means for a very long time. But one of the things that, and the questions that I get constantly is, well, that's great if I'm passionate about food, or I'm passionate about my family, or whatever one of these areas may be. But how do I actually how do I actually action on it? What are the questions that I need to ask myself? Somebody very wise said to me a long time ago, if you want to improve the quality of your life, improve the quality of your questions. And as you know, my business is called Ask Shivani. And so I use the Ask framework, and I use the acronym of that all the time. And let me take you through some of the key questions that you'll be asking yourself, maybe asking your loved ones, even asking some of the people and projects and things that you care about, these questions. So let's say you are passionate about something, or maybe you're not even passionate about something. You just know there's lots of areas that you are passionate about. The first thing in Ask, the A stands for being aware. Awareness, we say, is 50% of the solution, is 50% of the way that you're already there. So knowing what lights you up, and we're speaking about areas like passion, it is so important to know what lights you up. What are you passionate about? What do you get excited about? What would you just get out and jump out of bed for? What would you do if money was no object? So becoming aware of things that you love doing, and sometimes you want to do those things, and there's some pain points in your life in terms of how you can actually create that. So that awareness of even a pain point might be the starter, might be the ignition of you being able to find your passions. And it's so important to do so. The S in Ask is for set. And I know millions of people around the world that set goals, but so many people around the world also do not achieve their goals. Why is that? Is it because they're lazy? Is it because they didn't use the SMART principle, which is setting goals that are smart? You may have heard of this acronym, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and in a time frame. Or, is it because, that they just haven't worked out what the steps are? What is that? And I believe that the reason that the setting goals is so important, in particularly when it comes to the conversation we have with passion, is because when goals are aligned with your passion, so you get your passions clear first, then you set your goals. And when your goals are in alignment with your passions, your success rate goes up exponentially. Your success rate goes up because you then start to realize that I'm actually in alignment with what I'm really, really passionate about, the stuff that I get lit up about. And so your ability to master those goals is really important. A lot of people set goals in all the different areas that they're passionate about, but I believe that setting 10 goals for each of the top 3 things that you're passionate about, so you end up with like 30 goals. That's a lot of goals. 30 goals just in your top 3 areas of your passion, let alone everything else that you might want to set some goals in. Why do we set 10 goals, and why do I recommend set goals? When you've got 30 goals just on 3 areas, guess what? You're going to be looking at that all the time, and you're going to start to create mastery. Mastery just doesn't come in doing 1 or 2 things right. Mastery comes in getting everything right. So it's really important to be able to set goals after you've set your passions, not the other way around, and not exclusive of your passions. Let me talk to you about the K. The K stands for know. Know that your time is finite. I know we've read the slogans that said this could be your last day. Live your day as if it was your last day. You never know where it's going to end. But one of the things, without sounding morbid, but it is so true, is that each of us at some point are going to die. I don't know when that is. You don't know when that is. So it's so important to be able to know that the time is finite. And why spend time doing things that you do not love? Why spend time doing things that do not light you up? And so the question for you is this: ask yourself these three questions: the awareness, the setting goals, and also the knowing that the time is finite. Ask your loved one these questions. And the idea is that we spread that word around how we create that passion within ourselves and how do we then share that with the rest of the world. I have asked this question, the ask question, to hundreds and thousands of people. And what I love is when people start to get the aha moments. Sometimes they're very aware of it, but they haven't set their goals in alignment. Sometimes they're not very aware of it. And even that realization saying that's what I'm really, really passionate about. Sometimes people are really aware of them and then they set their goals, but what they haven't done by knowing that time is finite, they start to accelerate some of them. So whichever part is missing for you, perhaps all three are, or one or two of these aspects are, write stuff down. So many people I know spend more time organizing a holiday than they do getting their passions clear. When you get clear about who you are, you start to live very, very differently. You then start to get very excited about how you live and you start to share that with your loved ones. And then that spreads. This is how we will spread the notion of passion, by asking ourselves these questions. I hope that this podcast helped you. This is also a great question to be able to ask our people when we're talking about attracting and retaining them, because sometimes people are there, but they're not really quite there. And so we call that presenteeism. You're present, but you're not really that present, a bit like absenteeism. And so these questions are a great way to be able to engage our people, our managers, getting them to actually ask this question of their people. So again, that we spread the word about it. I hope it was helpful. Please ask me any questions, seeing that my business is called Ask Shivani, and I really look forward to you and your feedback. I look forward to how you apply that, and thanks for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to Engage and Retain People podcast. I hope that today's podcast sparks a new and maybe one idea that you can bring back to your business right away. Take time to connect, listen, and invest in your people, because they are your most valuable asset. If you found value in today's conversation, please subscribe and share this episode with other fellow entrepreneurs and business leaders. And don't forget to leave a review. It helps us manage and reach more people just like you. Join us next week for more actionable insights to keep you on the path to engage and retain your people. Until then, keep going. Keep investing in your people and yourself. This is Shivani. Stay inspired.